Hey, how's it going? I just got home from my job and now we're going to do the entire recording of me opening your package that you sent in. We talked about it, you had a lot of questions, and I just decided, you know what? I'm going to record everything so we're good to go. Alright, we're going to open it from the back side because I like to keep your label intact. Sweet. Oh, I'm keeping this bag. I'm going to make a parachute. Alright, so here we have your board. Came straight out of the box. I'm going to go ahead and serialize it so we know it's yours. Alright, you are serial number 102403. Okay. Montgomery, Ohio. All right, let's have a look together. So we're going to test it before we do anything and see what's going on. I currently have a Chamberlain remote set up 15 meters away, and then I have a wire being run all the way from that remote control right here to my desk. So we have 4 wires. There's your common, which is black. I have a green that represents the green button logic boards. I have a red wire that represents the red button logic boards, and then a violet wire here that represents the purples. So I can do my range testing while I'm sitting down, so that way I can pump up, pump out 70 boards a night if I have to. Alright, so we have you on a testing assembly. I'm going to turn this overhead light off. I'm going to turn this light off. As you can see, there's light in the background representing your logic board is plugged in and functioning with the wall, or with the light switch, I'm sorry. Hooking up sensors now. Clearing your codes by holding the learn button down for 8 seconds until that LED goes out. The LED is out. We are going to see if you have manual function right now. Your board is functioning one direction manually and not the other way. Oh, there we go. Let's do another manual test. Alright, there's one way. And then the other way. These posts might be dirty, and when I bridged it with my tweezers, it may not have got a good contact, so I'll clean them up. So as you can see, the board is functioning as it should with manual wall switch. We're going to turn this voltmeter on. I'm going to give you some light. The first measurement I'm going to take is over here on your wall button switch. We should see around 21.75 to 22.5 volts. Let's see where you're at. Turning the light on my meter. We currently have 19.89 volts. That's not enough power to drive your remote section. Now let's look at your sensor output. Should be around 5.7 to 6.1. 5.85, that's very good. So we have problems on your power supply. Let's see if we can program a remote 15 meters away. And here we go. And I cannot. It is not receiving the remote right now. So I'm going to repair your power supply. Remember, we had 19 volts at output. It's just not enough. I'm going to look over all the solder points. I see one cold solder joint on the transformer. And I see multiple cold solder joints. Ooh! Every pin on your connector, on your connector harness has a cold solder joint. Yeah, there's more than one problem on this board, but there are a lot of cold solder joints on here. Wow. They're all on this connector. And then that part of your transformer. So the first thing I'm going to do is patch up all these cold solder joints. So let's get going with that. Yeah, when I'm soldering down these this transformer, it's just bubbling and bubbling because there's air pockets in there, and heat, vibration, and those air pockets are going to cause some problems. So I'm just going through here. Shouldn't take too long. Bear with me. But this way, you know what's going on. I know what's going on. These ones are really bad. These 5 right here. Whoo! I could drive a skateboard through there. All right, let's get some more flux. A little bit more flux. And then we're going to do your potentiometers. We're going to throw a lot of solder on there because those things move. And we want them nice and strong. That way we don't have load issues. Going over your RF section because there's also some cold solder joints that I'm seeing here. Clean your board now with some denatured alcohol. That black mark you had on the back just got washed off. Again, I'm cleaning it with denatured alcohol, so any marking on the back will be removed. We have to remove all the flux that I used to get perfect joints. The board is dry. Alright, let's plug it back in. Let's see where our voltages are at. Connecting sensors, turning off this lamp. You can see, excuse me, I'm also going to clean these terminals real quick so I get better connection with my tweezers. Alright, you can see the light on the back is on the unit. So we got power, we're doing this thing. First I'm going to test manual operation again. Manual operation. I'm going to remove a sensor so we can simulate an object in the beam, so it should protect. As you can see, it's protecting as it should with the light flashing. We're going to reconnect that sensor, and then we should operate as normal. There we go. So we know that all the functions work manually, and the sensors work. So right now what I'm going to do before I program a remote is turn this back on and get a voltage measurement. You can see it's on. We're going to go to the center pin, and outside we should get, you know, close to 22 volts as we can. Before we had 19. We have 23.3 volts. Can you see that? Can you see that right there? 23.3 volts. No doubt in my mind we can't program this bad boy right now. Let's give it a shot. First, we're going to clear those codes again by holding the button out for 8 seconds until that LED goes out. The LED is out. I'm going to push it once and let go. I'm going to use my wires here that are run 15 meters away to program your remote. As you can see, we just programmed it. We're going to use the remote here, and your board is now working at 15 meters. Let's test remote function with the sensor disconnected and see if we can't make it error. Okay, so the garage door would now be going up. So we're going to go down now, and let's see if it protects and flashes the light and does a disco. Oh, it's disco time. So let's connect that sensor and give it another shot and see what happens. Boom! Your board is working like it should be. I'm going to go ahead and ship this out ASAP. You were my priority to get this done for you, and I really, really appreciate your business. I wish you a great new year, and if you have any problems, let me know. Thank you.